back, I can tell you now, I was like, my goosebumps are like supercharged right now, just thinking back to all those exciting moments and all the inspirational sharings that were on the call there, seeing some of the interviews between our founder, Mr. Marcus Schmieke, and everyone else that was on the call. What a time to celebrate together. It really was a really special time. But I wanted to reflect back on some interesting things that actually happened during the course of the seminar. And you know what, as people, we all love some interesting numbers. And so here's some of the things that we wanted to share with you in terms of Healy World Meets the World. Well, we had thousands of people on the call, and that was just absolutely amazing. In each market, there were such a great amount of positive energy that was being shared there. But check at that. We had our 3 hubs represented. We had the APAC market. We kicked off first, followed by Europe and Africa. And then, of course, we had the Americas that were in there as well. So we really represented the globe really, really well. In terms of speakers, we had 12 speakers that were there sharing their insights, knowledge, passion, and just enjoyment for everything Healy. We had a number of studios that we were right across the world. So there were a total of 3 different unique studios that all the trainings were shot at and then compiled together in Germany. So it's really amazing what you can do when you put some amazing brains together at work. And then in total number of cameras, there was at least 15 cameras that were there capturing us from our angles. The only disappointing part that I feel about the whole thing is that I don't really think that I got caught at my best angle. I think my best angle is this angle, not that angle. You know what I'm saying? But really such a great event. In fact, if you loved the event, why don't you just chuck a 1 in the chat box over there, just so that we can share some love with Martina and her marketing team, who did such an amazing job in putting such a professional event together. And look at this, for those of you who really love detail, and this is an area that's not my greatest forte, I've got to admit, but can you believe that there was 1,230 meters of cable to enable the filming and shooting of all the trainings? So think about that. That is over a kilometer, or just short of a mile if you're from the US and on the call here today. So that's a crazy distance, right? Can you imagine swimming a kilometer? I mean, that would be some serious distance that we would be covering together. But let's take a look at some interesting fun facts that were there. And, you know, what we loved when we were all on the call here together, and I know I was on the chats and I was chatting like crazy with everyone that was on there. But here's just some of the information that you all shared with us about how you're feeling about Healy, how you felt about what you saw, how that resonated with you. You know, and here's just a couple of things. I'll just grab a couple of sound bites. You're feeling around, you know, great communication. You were feeling a sense of community, the anticipation of excitement, you know, the diversity of our offering and what we're doing, the diversity of the people that are represented in Healy World, and just an amazing time of sharing, caring, and love to be in one place at one time together. And, you know, from us to you, in all languages, we just want to say a massive thank you. You know, thank you for being with us. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for believing in the journey. Thank you for believing in the vision. And now, you know, we pay it all back to you by taking Healy to the next level in Healy's evolution and the continued development of Healy globally. There are so many exciting things to share with you in the coming months that lie ahead. We got markets that are opening up, markets that are localizing, and it's going to be a really exciting time to be able to, you know, spread the vision of Healy right around the world. So crazy excited about that. So what I do want to do is just take this opportunity to share a couple of insights with you. You know, one of the things that we know about Healy is that we are a massive community. And we want to make sure that we are representing every corner of the globe when it comes to Healy's events. And what does that mean? That means that we would love to follow you, right? And there's some simple ways that we can follow you, because we would love to capture what you are doing in your markets, whether it's that you're doing a demo, whether it's you're talking to someone who's had a Healy's had a massive impact on their lives, or whatever it happens to be. We just want to follow you, and we want to capture those moments and play those moments back to each and every one of you all around the world. Because you know what? It is inspiring. It is motivating to see the impact that Healy does have around the world. But we want to capture you in Healy world. So there are a couple of simple things that we can do about it, because at the end of the day, Healy brand is no brand without you. And how do we engage and have us all part of it? Well, it's what you tell us that Healy is and what it means to you. And we want to capture these moments. So I need you to do a massive favor. Whether you are on Instagram, whether you're on Facebook, whether you are capturing YouTube videos, or whatever it happens to be, any of your platforms that you're on, you know what? Capture hashtag Healy when you at the end of your post, right? Capture hashtag Healy World. Capture at Healy World Official if you're on Insta, and I know it works on Facebook as well, but capture these key things. And what we're going to do is we're going to capture your moments. And we want to share your moments with the world. What a great way to be able to do that. And can't wait to see all the excitement of having. Can you imagine market launches being captured and having those intimate moments? It's really going to be crazy exciting. I love, love, love it. I'm so excited for this initiative. And I think it's really going to be wonderful to profile you and the difference that you make as a change agent in the world. Well, you know what? I know that you were all excited about what you saw in terms of the product announcements on Healy World Meets the World events. And I know you got so captivated in it. And when we announced the natural cycle, you went, oh, that's amazing, but it went so fast. And then we announced the MagHealy, and you went, that's amazing, it went so fast. So what we thought we would do is we would like to capture another intimate moment, a moment where we can share more about the natural cycle. And I'm crazy excited about this because we've got our founder on the call, and of course, the developer of the natural cycle module himself. So it's at this point that I get crazy excited to be able to introduce onto the call a gentleman that we know and love. He is our founder. He works relentlessly around the clock to make a difference. If he's not working on Healy, he's working on different pieces of research to enable additions to our Healy suite of everything that we do. He's an inspiration to all of us. He has a relentless work ethic that, if we can just have a small amount of, I tell you what, the game would be changed forever. It's with absolute pleasure that I get to introduce onto the call our founder, Mr. Marcus Schmieke. Marcus, are you ready?
Mark, yes, of course I'm ready. I'm just waiting for this moment to greet all of you, also from my side to welcome all of you to this Frequencies and Friday. How is it called? Frequencies and Friends, isn't it? It's a new name, and yeah, I was missing the Frequency Fridays already, so happy to be here again, and yeah, greet all of you, especially after this, I would say, game-changing world conference, which we had this time virtually. Next time we'll meet you all together in person, and it was for me such a pleasure because we have waited quite long to keep the things back which we are developing. For example, now I can show the MagHealy, and I will later speak about more. Imagine we are developing it already since, I don't know, 2.5 years. I have no idea, but some long time. How difficult it was not to speak about it, not to show the prototypes, not to discuss it and share it with you. That's something very, very difficult for me. And I have many things in my cupboard which I cannot show you now because they will be launched in 1 year or in 2 years. So it remains difficult. But at least this pressure is out that we can speak about two really important things. And that's really what we are doing today. We will give you more insights into this wonderful complementation of Healy. It complements the good old Healy, like the magnetic field complements the electric field or the electrical current. And there is no electrical current without a magnetic field. And if a magnetic field is changing inside our body, it is doing something on the electric level. It's inducing electric current. So they are complementary, like yin and yang, like all polarities in this world. And we came to this point of completeness that we cannot just have the electrical current through our bodies, through our cells, with the frequencies of Healy, but simultaneously be in a magnetic field, which is something like the mother, because we are all living on this planet. All life has been growing, emerging from the water, which is already related to magnetic forces, but then in the magnetic field of the earth. So it's something like the mother, and the electricity is the impulse to move it. It's something like the father. So we are nothing without our mother and father, and we need these energies, even if we are adult, even if our parents are not living anymore. This carries us. We become fathers and we become mothers ourselves. And in this way, electricity, electrical current, and magnetic fields, this is what drives life, which gave rise to life in the very beginning, which made the one cell from which we all came to grow into 2, into 4, into 16, into this unlimited numbers of cells. And then now we are this organism consisting of all the cells are kept together by the fields, by the photons they are exchanging, by this extremely low intensity electromagnetic fields which pervade our body, which are electric and magnetic. So it's such an exciting area. I will speak a little later about it in practice. And it's the frequencies which actually relate the electrical to the magnetic field to each other, because a static electric field is a static electric field. Nothing happens. And a static magnetic field is a static magnetic field. But as soon as they get dynamic, like a magnetic field which changes spatially and periodically, and the same with the current which changes immediately, the other field is produced. Therefore, electrical and magnetic forces, they play with each other and they are creating electromagnetic waves, photons. And photons are really so amazing entities in this life. You know, Einstein was so amazed by photons, because if you would see the universe from the perspective of a photon, just imagine, get on a ride on a photon, choose a photon. I'm not sure, probably a blue one right now, and then travel through the universe and see the universe from this perspective. Time stands still. You will see eternity. That's amazing. Light is amazing. It's pure electromagnetism. So now we have complemented the electrical with the magnetic, and this is giving me lots of pleasure, and frequencies is really what connects both of them. But there's so much to talk about this, but actually I have no idea what I should talk about, because I know, do we have Nuno Nina as our guest today?
Yes, sir, we certainly do, and he is ready and waiting.
Okay, he's okay. So actually, I was talking. I was just. I have later time to speak about the MagHealy.
Yes, you certainly do, after Nuno.
Okay, perfect. Because I jumped in without any planning, like always. So I'm so much looking forward to meet today here Nuno Nina, who is not just the developer of the natural cycle, but without him, there would have been no time weather frequency. There would have not been any time weather home. And now the Healy, which we're having in our hands, would not be like this at all, because meeting Nuno more than 10 years ago convinced me about don't try just with magnetic fields. You need to reach the cells with electrical current of a certain intensity, which stimulates the cells at the level of their own electricity. And he just had to mention it once. It was very clear to me. And this is how we started this amazing journey, connecting Nuno's frequencies, his gold frequencies, his experience with 10,000 of patients, with our core technology of analyzing the information field. And that's all. We didn't need anything more. So therefore, I'm so thankful that time to have met Nuno, and that we went away together now almost, I think, 12 years. And that after this time, something really amazing new came about, which Nuno is thinking and practicing on already since some time, I think since years. And now you can have it in your hands. And that's the natural cycle. So what do I have to do that Nuno appears on the screen here?
You can just invite him on and he's ready to turn on his camera.
Okay, Nuno, please turn on your camera. Hi, Nuno.
Okay. Hi, Marcos.
Wonderful colors you are having in your background.
He's a friend of mine. Was a
Very
paint.
beautiful.
Yeah, it's nice.
All the colors are different frequencies.
Yep, it's the world.
Yes, so I already talked a little about, but nothing really concrete. So we have hundreds of programs already in Healy. So coming up with new programs wasn't our idea. But when I saw what you are working on, it was clear that to me it was the next step in the evolution of Healy, that we use some very powerful agent, and this is time. Time and frequencies are related to each other in a very, very strong way. They are inverse to each other. So to have the right time for the right frequency, it seems a very powerful idea. So what is really the power behind this?
Okay, as you know, the language of the world is electricity. This is the language that can connect everything. Of course, there are another fields behind, and frequencies is part of that. So the frequencies is the different language, as we have Chinese, German, Portuguese. Frequencies is the different language that electricity can have to connect in the simple way. And because of that we are here, because of that we developed all this device that can be the interface between something that you cannot feel, or better, you cannot see, to things that can act and can change your body. And this is the real important, is to have something that the people, it's very difficult to understand electricity. Of course, you don't have a concept of electricity. We talk about current. Current is something that in theory, we talk about the flow of electrons. Okay, this is theory, because nobody said, and nobody can see that. But electricity is a very, very complex concept. And what we did was understand a little bit, was to find the right language that is the best language to our body understand. And in this way, to help the body to recover, again, levels of correct electric current inside us. Was that?
Right. I remember you paraphrased this importance once by saying there's an original field called gravity, which is something which some people can call God. And then I think you said it has a sun, which is a magnetic field, and a prayer, which is electricity. I think this is a nice picture to show us
Yeah.
the importance of these forces and how they are related to each other, isn't it?
Yeah, as you know, gravity is my how can I tell you? Is my source of thinking. Is my source of is my gravity for me is one day, because it's also it will be very difficult. I don't believe that we can understand gravity, of course, in the deep side. But it's, of course, it's not possible also to understand God. It's not, Shiva, Brahma, whatever. It's concepts very, very, it's in another dimension. So we have our dimension now, and it's because of that we are in this planet. So I think this kind of things maybe can help to look more far away, but in what we would like to have is real tools that can help us. Because usually what I tell the people, and maybe I shock some people, but this is my concept and this is my point of view, is we are here because we have a body. Okay, so what is my problems in this planet? It's my body. Okay, if my body don't have troubles, if I have some kind of disease very complex, I will be in troubles, I fear. So I should care my body. And this is my first step. And my body have a language, or the planet have a language. And my body should understand this language. And this is the reason that I create natural cycles, because natural cycles, or natural cycle, is the language that your body should understand. Because before we were born here in this planet, these cycles already exist. So when you're born in this planet, these are the rules. These cycles are the rules to live here. And this is really important that the people understand this concept, because before me and you and all, human beings be here, the natural cycles exist. So when you come here, when we arrived here, we have rules. And this is the rules to be here. And if you are far away from or not aligned with these rules, of course, we'll be in troubles. It's the same that, imagine long time ago that the people don't know so different language. If I go to, or if I went to China, or if I go to China, and I don't know nothing about Chinese, my relationship between Chinese should be impossible. I don't understand. I cannot create relationship because I don't understand the language and they don't understand my language. So if you are not aligned with these cycles, your body don't understand the language of the planet. And this is really important, because we are alive not because we have life inside us. It's the planet that have life. And this is really important, because if I have life inside me, I can go to the moon and I can live there. So it's impossible. I don't have life. And this is really important that people understand. Who has life is the planet, is the earth, is not me. So I need to follow the rules of the earth. So it's easy. So because of that, a lot of people, and after thousands and thousands of clients and patients that we have, more than 17, I realized that, okay, so it's really important to create a way to recover or push or pull the people again to this natural cycle. This interface is really important. More important than anything is the first language that your body can understand. And if your body don't understand this language, you cannot have good health. You cannot have the correct electricity, the correct power inside your body, because you are out of this kind because these cycles also is a way that we have to charge ourselves. Because of that, if they are not important, you don't have it. Okay, so this is one reason that I developed the natural cycle.
Right. As far as I understand, there are two aspects of it. One aspect is to really find a moment where the forces of the moon and the sun
Yep.
and the earth align.
Yeah.
And
Let me explain.
like
Yes.
small
Sorry.
windows of power. And if you start something in this moment with the right frequency, with a frequency which fits to this time, then this impulse carries you for the next weeks and months.
Yeah. Let me explain, because maybe it's kind of seems not logical in the first sight. Why we have some dates and some hours to do that is the same that if you ask me, Nuno, at what time I should drink water? You can drink water anytime, but there are hours that are better than drink water than the other ones. For instance, if you drink water before a meal, it's not okay, because you need acid in your stomach, so it's not good. If you are middle-aged or ever, if you drink water before to go to bed, it's not good, because you cannot have the sleep cycle correct, because in the middle of night you wake up and you cut your recover. So it's the same. Of course, there are amazing dates that the universe have the point of something. For instance, oxidation is a very important point. Reduction is a very important point. They are ideal dates, but you should be in the cycle every day, every hour, every minute. So we have 4 plus 4 dates that are real strong. But if you ask me, can I start to do now? Yes, you can start to do now, because this is one goal of our bodies, to be in this cycle. But of course, they are, as everything, you have the ideal. In everything, you have the ideal points. In the life, in the marriage, in driving a car, everything you have the ideal points. Should be on these dates only? No, but this is the ideal. If you do that, maybe it's more easy that your body can again become again in the cycle. Maybe it's more easy, but if I do in the other dates, can I do it? Yes, you can do it. You can do it. Of course, maybe the results are not so faster, so it are not so, you cannot see in 2 days, but you are working on it. And this is most important. You know, Marcus, there are people that come to my clinic and they want a reaction in 2-3 days. Sometimes I need 2, 3, 4 years to recover a body. And this is really important, because disease is not something that happens yesterday. It's something that happens long time ago. And the body tried during all these years trying to fight the disease. And one day cannot more fight, because they don't have more, power to do that. And things happens. But when things happens, it's not the moment that the disease started. It's not. Sometimes I need 5 years to come back. Yes, because the disease started 20 years ago or 15 years ago, the problems. And our body is our body is amazing. Because when my kidney helps my liver, they are not waiting that one day the liver pays something. It's real. We have a word. Let me see. I don't remember in Portuguese. Forget it. They are a real amazing connection between our all organs. When your spleen help your liver to do something, the spleen is not waiting that one day the liver pay you, or pay the spleen, of course. So this is a real relationship, a pure relationship. And the body do everything that can do to help. All organs works together, but one day cannot do nothing more. And things happens, symptoms happens, disease happens, problems happens. And the people say, oh, was yesterday, was not. long time ago start the problems. And this also, the natural cycle is a tool so that you can be more in phase. You can be more in the rules of this planet, because this is life. You are here because the planet. You are not here because nothing more. If not, you are in the Mars, in Jupiter, and that's all.
Yes.
I don't know if I was I answered.
What you're explaining on this level of life on this earth is true down to the micro level. Yesterday we had a beautiful webinar with Professor Giuseppe Vicello. He's a quantum field theorist, but also a water researcher who did studies with Luc Montagnier and Emilio Del Giudice and Preparata and all these people. And I asked him about the frequency range in which we are working, because the frequency range, sometimes we use the low frequencies like 100 hertz or 1000 hertz or 5000 hertz. It's a low frequencies. And if you calculate their wavelengths, very, very long wavelengths. So they don't relate to the size of our cells. But he said, no, that's not important, because these frequencies, they relate to each other. And they relate to each other in this way. They form an interference. And the interference, and we will do these calculations next Thursday, they're exactly in their sizes, where there's constructive interference, fits to the coherent domains in the water, to the size of our cells. So the frequencies, the cycles in nature are adjusted in such a way that we live. So we are a result of, you can say, everything being in phase, all the frequencies being in the right place in which we are. And I think that's the power also of the natural cycle, to place the frequencies in these moments where they are aligned with the forces of nature. So one last question, because I know our time is limited. When you first time spoke with me about it, you mentioned some people who did it just for a few days or a few weeks. So how did you see people's lives changing who apply the natural cycle?
One was my son. Martin is completely out of the cycle. Completely, because he works by night and sleep by day. And I told Martin, in future you'll have problems, because we are not made to do that. Okay, so let's try to do something. Let me help you. Maybe you don't understand that I'm help you, but let me help you. Okay, and after that you can tell me if you feel different or not. And we start to do, and Martin changed, because Martin go to the wake up at 6 p.m. and was terrible for me, because I don't have these rules. But now Martin can wake up at 7 in the morning. Yesterday I talked, he called me at 7 in the morning. And he said, Father, I feel that I can think more faster. I think that I don't know, but I feel better. I don't feel fatigue. I don't feel that forget the things. I feel different. And it was amazing. But this is one because this is my son, and we have a very, very close relationship. And there are a lot of people that I already did it. Rita did it, and the reaction is because you don't need to spend more energy to do the things. You don't need to more, because you have the energy that universe send you in the right time to do the things. So it's completely different. You feel the flow. If you are in the alignment with the cycles, you feel the flow. It's completely different. And if you feel the flow, you are in the flow.
Yes. Thank you so much.
If you are in the flow, it's very difficult to be in troubles. Real this is. Sometimes I shock the people, because I say one day I will die, of course, like everybody, but not by any disease. And I'm telling now, and when I die, the people can check that. by accident, by I don't know, but by disease. Look, don't make any sense. At this moment, the way that you think and understand, you know, you don't need to understand how the body works because it's so complex. You know, the science put the chemical and this is a filter, this is a layer, very, very complex because it's so easy. It's so easy to understand how our body works. It's easy. It's real easy. Okay, if you don't have this amount of power, of energy, electricity in your cells, something happens. Of course, it's easy. So you need to understand why you eat, why we have food, why we have water, is to charge the cells. Only what we do with our devices, we charge the cells in another way, with less dirty, because food at this moment, as you know, is around us. At this moment is very complex. You know, the food is dirty, the food have pollution, the environment have pollution. It's not easy. It's not easy because everything that's around you, it's not like thousands and thousands years ago. And what you have at this moment that you can heat without pollution, electricity, current. So this is the way that you can charge yourselves. Of course, you need the food, yes, because you need mechanical movements to produce a kind of enzymes and the kind of protein you need, because you are kind of, you know, we are complex. We are physical, we are electric, we are chemical. So these all steps, these all layers need to work together. So the things happen. If you tell me, oh, can I live with only electricity? Of course not. Doesn't make any sense. Maybe you can in Jupiter. Maybe you can in another planet because it's the rules of this planet. But in this planet, our rules are that. So what is important? Be on the cycle is really important. Be aligned with the cycle of the Earth. It's because of that we are here. It's nothing more.
Thank you, Nuno, so much.
Welcome. Thank you, Marcos. Thank you, Mark. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you. I enjoyed our exchange very much. 2 days ago, I got a special frequency program for you, and I want to share an experience because normally I'm doing my Healy here in between and there, but I took each day 1 hour time to just lie down and just experience the frequencies. And this makes a big difference. How you see it? Last short question. How should one apply the frequencies? Is it worse that you just take this time for the frequencies, or you can just do anything along while applying them?
Okay, so more important, Marcus, and we talk a lot of things, and was one of the things that I talked with you 12 years ago. And I told you, Marcus, protocols is very difficult. If we do protocols, we are working side by side with the classic science. And I don't like classic science in the terms of medicine. Why? Because we are all different. The frequencies that are okay for me cannot be okay for you. Moments are different. As you say, the time space is very difficult. It's very different for each one. So, one day maybe we can help the people to learn and to teach them the concept, because when you know the concept of the things, you are free to do what you want. If I tell you the protocols, it's like I tell you, Marcos, I have a car. Nobody have a car. I have a car, and I have a shop of cars. And you say, Nuno, I want a car. I can go to my office with a car. I can lose less hours in the traject. And I say, okay. And I can give you a protocol. The protocol is from your house to the office. What is more important, Marcos, is to give the concept to you. And one day you can tell me, I'm in Barcelona now because I went here with my car. It's amazing. So this is what we should do in the future. Is not more protocols. Is teach the concept.
Of course, this is what we want to build up in the academy.
Yep.
Thank you.
Welcome, Marcos. Ciao, Mark. Thank you. Bye. Can I turn off my camera?
Yeah. You can. and you can go on mute.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. All right, Marcus. Well, that was absolutely amazing. What I was thinking we could do is, do you mind if I cover 2 business slides and then we can cover the MagHealy?
Of course.
Okay, brilliant. All right. Well, I'm going to get straight into it with everyone. All right, everyone. Well, I suppose you've now seen the natural cycles. You've heard so much about it, and what an engaging conversation that was. You know, I think it went in so many directions, and I think there was just so much. I almost feel like I'm overwhelmed with taking in so much information, but there were so many things that really, you know, resonated with me during the course of that conversation. I hope there was a big impact for you. Here, I'd just like to cover a couple of things so that you understand how you are actually able to access the natural cycles. Okay, well, right now it is available in your Healy shop. So it's available there right now. You can get it. Now, it is at a price of 250 euros, and it's 150 in points volume. Okay, so please take a note of that. Now, additionally, what I wanted to just say to you is that make sure that you take the opportunity to take it up when we do have these exclusive offers like this, because at some point, some of these offers change. So take advantage while you can get it right now. Now, additionally, there's some exciting things that we do want to point out. There is a natural cycle trigger day, and I need you to put this in your diaries. Okay, so the next natural cycle event is on May the 11th, 2022. Now, we're going to send out a heap of information about this, so you don't need to get too panicky about whether you've missed it or not, but don't worry about it. We'll be sending out an absolute heap of information to make sure that you're all in tune with the natural cycle event that is coming up on the 11th of May. All right, so now, Marcus, I think we are at the point of where we can talk about the MagHealy, and we can share as much as you want about the MagHealy. So you back up and you're back running. So welcome back to the call, Marcus. Marcus, are you ready to jump on? All right. Well, I'll just keep
I'm
going.
back.
There we go. There we go. Awesome. All right. Fantastic.
Now I don't hear you.
We'll be back onto the MagHealy, and it is all up to you how you want to cover the information. So
Mark,
I'll hand
are you
the call
muted?
completely over to you. Not yet. Can you hear me?
No. Oh, yeah. Now I hear you.
Oh, great. Okay, fantastic.
I muted you.
Marcus, that is not a nice thing to do, okay? You're not allowed to mute me, okay? Awesome. Well, the call is back over to you, sir. It's all about the MagHealy. Please take it away. Thank you so much.
Right. I already, in my enthusiasm in the beginning, I started to speak about what makes the MagHealy so special, and it's always related to the Healy itself, because the Healy, using the electrical current, is and will be always the basis, because the electrical current directly flows through our arms, it goes through our blood vessels, it touches the nerves, it touches the cells, and the cell first language is electricity. The milieu of the cells is the pH value difference. It's about the cellular membrane potential. All these different aspects are so important for our wellness, for our fitness, for our resilience. Everything in our physical world is based on this. So this MagHealy will always be the center of our universe. And yesterday I had a long evening talk with one of our medical doctors in the United States, who, when he got Healy and he tried many frequency devices, he was so happy about it that it in the first place focuses on having the right electrical current through the body. And for his own Healy experience, it made such a difference. And this is and will be the basis. But the basis doesn't mean that it stops there. So the next step in the evolution has three aspects, and they're all combining in what you see here, which is the MagHealy. Mag means magnetic, and it's a little language game. MagHealy means also MagHealy in terms there is something hidden related to an amazing pioneer also of frequency therapy in the United States, which is Carolyn McMakin. So, but the first idea of the MagHealy is to use the magnetic field to complement the electric. So that's so powerful. I can use my Healy here with the cables. I have the cables here to get the electricity through my body, and simultaneously I can be in a magnetic field. And this magnetic field of the MagHealy, because it has 6 magnetic coils inside, this extends into the space. Therefore, originally we wanted to call it MagHealy atmosphere or Healy atmosphere. This was also a running name of it for some time, Healy atmosphere, because you choose the program with your app, you put it on your desk, and you are working in this field, in this magnetic field of frequencies, which extend half a meter, a meter and a half, and then the magnetic field becomes quite thin. Still there is an effect because of resonance and the frequency is effective, but we say like it's around 1.5 meters. So you can just relax in this field, you can sit, and you can choose the programs according to the activities which you are doing in this field. Sometimes just relaxing. Sometimes you want to sleep. And you can just put the MagHealy on the small table next to your bed, or just lie it into your bed and start it. And it can adjust the frequencies to what you need to have full sleep well-being. But of course, sometimes, many times, we're not sleeping alone, but we sleep together in a bed, and then we, being together, also our information fields, our bioenergetic fields, they touch each other. In a way, then we are a meta-personality. So the MagHealy being put in such a situation where 2 people who most probably are very close to each other and they love each other, they are in the field of the MagHealy, and the MagHealy then connects to the common information field of both. Of course, being aware that each of them is individual still, but that's an intrinsic intelligence in the information field and also in this mechanism of quantum entanglement, because it's based on quantum entanglement. How otherwise could this thing, which is a meter away, relate to your field? It's about quantum entanglement, something which we also discussed yesterday with Professor Viciello, because in experiments with frequencies, which Luc Montagnier and himself and Jacques Benveniste and so many international research groups in Europe mainly, but also in other parts of the world have done. And they always saw something which could be interpreted like an entanglement between the mind of the people who do the experiments and the experiments themselves, which were always based on certain frequencies, like 7 hertz. And 7 hertz is one of the most important frequencies which we find on this planet. 7, or it's changing like 7.8, the Schumann resonance. It's a frequency of the magnetic field. And we all live in this magnetic field. We can't shield ourselves from this magnetic field. So there is frequencies which are like our mother, and they come through the magnetic field. So our body is so thankful, our system, our bioenergetic field is so thankful for receiving the right frequencies through the right field, and the magnetic field is it's very soothing. The electric current is kind of little pushing. It's like the father. It's like the sun. It's solar by nature. And the lunar nature of the magnetic field is carrying, it's motherly, it's like water. So that it's a wonderful complement. So using my Healy, while simultaneously I have the MagHealy for my working space, that's wonderful. And imagine there are so many different situations where you would like the space around you be of a different energetic quality. So just change its frequency. That's so simple. Put the MagHealy in your car. I was sitting with one of the major owners of one of the major German car companies. I don't want to say here publicly who it was. Amazing person, next generation person. And he was so interested in frequencies. So I came to him before Healy was ready. The idea was in my mind. We didn't construct it yet. And he said he wants such a frequency device in each of his cars so that the people who go into his car drive 400 kilometers, very quick, sporty cars, and then get out of it. They have more energy. They feel better, more well-being than before. And I said, yes, I think this is exactly what we want to do. And he had this idea to get the frequencies through the steering wheel, but some of his engineers were very skeptical and so on. And then something happened, so it couldn't be realized. And but here we are. We don't need to put the frequencies in the steering wheel. When you touch it, you think, oh, frequencies are there. But you can place the MagHealy in the center of your car and choose the car wellness frequencies, which is a part of the atmosphere. So that's just one way to use it. Or imagine you're traveling, coming into a hotel room. Use the Healy atmosphere and place it in the northeast of this room. Because so many people have been there. There's so many different energies and frequencies around, and you like to come into a pure energy. So that's some really very nice application. And remember, I mentioned something. I said put the Healy in the northeast of your hotel room. Why in the northeast? I can also put it in the southwest. Maybe you don't have a compass, put it in the center. But the northeast is a special point in any space, in any atmosphere, because there is universal, I would say global principles, how the energies of the earth are moving. For example, the earth is constantly rotating towards the east. So there is a kind of a solar energy coming from the east. It's all over the planet. But then through the magnetic field lines going from the north to the south. So there is a bioenergetic stream of energy, which is colder, coming from the north. So imagine now, north is here, east is there, and there is an energy flow from the east, which is solar, and there's an energy flow from the north, which is more lunar. One is more electric, one is more magnetic. So what do they do if they meet? Another vector goes from the northeast to the southwest. You see? They come, but then if they meet, they add up to a 45-degree vector entering in the northeast into your house, into your hotel room, into your office. So this northeast is a special place. It's a global energetic principle. So we can also tell you where to place the MagHealy in your room so that it has the best effect. It will anyway have an effect. You can put it always in the center, but the northeast, something you can take from this little webinar today home. Maybe you are home or you are in your office. Look, take a compass from the center of the room or from the center of the house and look what's going on in the northeast. Make it light, make it clear, tidy it up. If there's a garbage, put it somewhere else. increase the quality of the Northeast, and you will be happy. Not you will be happy, you are anyway happy, but the energies might improve. So that's what the MagHealy is for. And you can use the simple energetic principles, and I will in the future tell more about it. It's very easy. It's just 4 energetic principles. If you understand them, you can deal with the energies of your space, of the atmosphere you live in, you love in, you play in, you work in. So it's all about being in the right energy with the right frequencies. And this is what the Healy, MagHealy atmosphere is doing. I'm a little chaotic now. I didn't mention, but probably you know, that the MagHealy has 4 different modules. And one of the modules we started with is the atmosphere module. And this is the module where the frequencies vibrate the space around you, and you can enter the space and benefit from this. And there's 24 different applications. For example, there is frequencies for your food, for the space where you store your food, or different for the place where you cook your food, for your kitchen. So that's all different types of energies and different frequencies to support these different processes. And yeah, you can expect a lot of these different applications in the atmosphere module. The second module is the water module, which is very easy to explain. You take water, you put the MagHealy above it or under it, underneath it. You can also do it with orange juice. I got fresh orange juice today. And then choose the right frequency programs. We again have 24 different programs. For example, we designed a 3-part program. It means 3 programs connecting to each other. If somebody wants to fast with water for 3 days, which is very healthy for the body, support the water with frequencies. But there are so many different applications, and we will all have them, 24 of them, if you have the water module. And then the third module, and this was really amazing on the World Convention, which we all participated in, we saw Carolyn McMakin and her legacy of an amazing work of research and helping people as a practitioner, and the traditional knowledge which she received, and she enriched it. And I think the legacy of this is this 24 programs, which we include in the McMakin module of the MagHealy. So imagine these 3 things together in one product. It's kind of amazing, isn't it? The atmosphere for energizing your space with the right frequencies, the water, because water is so life-sustaining. Next week, I will have a webinar on water. I'm already really excited about it. And soon we will also have this webinar for the Healy users, so you can understand how water is the missing link between the frequencies and our body. And not only the missing link between the frequencies and our body, but it is a link between the information field and our organism and the world. And the amazingly sensitive way how water reacts on frequencies, and frequencies energize the water, and the water can memorize these frequencies. It's so much to be learned and understood about it. So, but you don't need to know all this, just apply it, just use the frequencies to energize or activate the water. Yeah, so, and there's the Mag Classic, I called it. Mag Classic is another, I think, also 14 to 24 programs, I don't know the exact numbers, which are classical magnetic field applications, which you find all over the world with the big devices. They have the certain frequencies. Many of them just use one frequency. They sell for 4,000 or 5,000 euro. So these frequencies are based often on studies. So I our research team and me have looked at all the available studies and collected the most important 14 to 24 frequencies. Don't ask me the exact numbers. And with different applications in the area of wellness. And so it's a very strong basis of this very exciting MagHealy. So now there's a brother and a sister. They're not twins, but they are siblings, and it's like the square and the circle are the perfect shapes, and they belong together. They are not one, but they complement each other, like a particle and a wave, like the electrical current and the magnetic field. So I'm so happy we are complete now. We have both of them. And I think in April, we will have more time to learn about and prepare it. And I think in May, something amazing starts. But anyway, I'm not telling much about the future. And that's it. More I won't tell now. And I hope you are as excited about it as I am still.
Marcus, you have us flipping out with excitement. What are you talking about? I mean, that was just absolutely amazing. We're so excited. And, I've been out and about in the network talking to a number of our leaders since we did the 25th event. And we're talking about the MagHealy, and everyone's just so excited about our future. And we just want to thank you for bringing this to us and giving us this opportunity to make a difference everywhere that we go. So thank you for the time on the call today. It's always a pleasure. And we're all very sad to see you go, because we could listen to you for hours on end. Thank you so much.
No problem. I can tell you about the first study which we just complete with the MagHealy, but this comes later. And I appreciate the time so much and wish you a great Friends and Frequency still today.
Thank you so much, sir. Bless you. We're so appreciative. Take care. Have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. There you have it. Our amazing Mr. Marcus Schmieke, once again, coming out and just sharing from the